Hey friends, welcome back to Rita Talks. I'm Rita, and on this YouTube channel, I just share some of the thoughts, ideas that I've been thinking about, some of the things that have been going on in my life. And in today's video, I just want to talk about this feeling that's nagging me. And I guess I know why it has erupted. I mean, this is not a feeling that I've had in a long time, but this feeling of injustice, in a sense, or like a bit being a bit angry at my previous manager, not the one that I currently have, but the one basically that was managing us. Basically, when I was trying to do this whole applied science transition and things, mostly because he was not present and like didn't give any feedback, didn't have frequent one-to-ones, one-to-one every 3 weeks, that most of the time he had to cancel. Like sometimes we would go 2 months and a half without having a one-to-one. And the thing that really, I don't know, that I really didn't like about this manager is that, I mean, he's nice and everything if you talk to him as a person. Um, I just think that he really doesn't care about his people. Like, I think he has this facade where he tries to seem likable and nice to people and things like this. But when it comes down to it, and when things get hard, I don't think he really cares. I think he tries to pass off as someone who cares, but I don't think that's true from the experience that I've had. And the reason I'm talking about this is because basically there was this, I don't know, location-wide party, and like the topic came up with one of my colleagues, and so basically I was like talking about it, and that has somewhat made me uneasy for the whole evening. So my hope now is just to let it out, to talk about it, to try to process it so that I can basically move on from this, because I know that in the end, I only have control over my attitude as a person and how I address situations, not any control over the situations themselves. So yeah, basically, I just wanna let this out and like let let myself, like get over this. And yeah, like the thing about this manager is that I think what like he just does the thing that's the most convenient for him, and I don't think he really cares about his people. Like he has this weird, I mean, style of management, which I wouldn't say it's even a style of management. I would say it's just him not caring. like, it's a style where he tries to come off as this cool manager that gives people a lot of freedom, but and stuff like this. But it's just because he really doesn't care. um, I mean, I'm not sure if that's true. Like, that's just the impression that I got, because literally this guy didn't give any feedback at all. Like very little feedback, and he's not even aware of the day-to-day work that at least I was doing. So basically, he like would have snap judgments that would be completely inaccurate, and then make decisions based on that, like make uh, performance evaluations and stuff like this based on that, which you know was not ideal, to say the least. And basically, like, I think the biggest frustration for me was the fact that there was no feedback, right? Like, when I was an intern, like, my manager, like, I had 2 one-to-ones with him every week. And then when we realized that it's not necessary to have 2 one-to-ones every week, we had one every week, and then he was always open to having a chat, and like to helping me out with something that I was struggling with. Uh, and basically, like when I came under this manager, uh, it was the complete opposite. So the first, I think I had one like literally when I joined, I had one call with him on the day that I joined, and then I didn't have a call with him for the next 1 month and a half. I didn't have any call with him. So like, and then like, I mean, it was just a bit weird. I was just like, because this was my first official job, I did not know what to make of it. Like, was just thinking, oh, this is like a more advanced side of management, but it's actually like it's more like I don't give a fuck style of management, which I came to realize a bit later. I mean, I'm not saying that everything was that bad with this manager, and like there were some good things that happened, but still, I mean, the reason that I'm talking about this is because towards the end, like he really, really didn't care, and basically ended up like giving me not that great of a rating, but uh, because he didn't have the context to understand the work that I was doing, like not in terms of how technical it is, but because he didn't take the time to have the discussions with me and things like this, because we barely had any discussions, right? So that, so that was what was frustrating, and like, let's say that things were going bad. Uh, why don't you freaking tell me before making a snap judgment like that will affect my evaluation? Like, why don't you tell me like after you see 1 month of something happening, you tell me, hey, something is wrong, let's work towards this, let's redirect your focus, let's do something. But basically for 6 months like I barely had any contact with him. The contact was, there was no like warning, no nothing about this. That was what was the bit of a frustrating part for me. But it's okay, like I know that this manager, like he helped me get the French contract, which was a good thing, and I'm happy, like grateful that he did it, and this was a good win. But I guess that's the only win that happened with this manager. I mean, he did try with the applied science thing, but I'm not even sure that, like, I mean, he arranged the loop, but other than that, like, I don't think he really tried to get involved at all. Like, I think he was just trying to do the easiest thing for him. But I mean, that's not to shit on like the stuff that he's done. Like, to some extent, yes. Like, to some extent, he did some good things, but I don't think he did them out of care. I just think that he did them out of the path of least resistance in some sense. So yeah, that was what was a bit, disappointing to me, is that I was really disappointed with the end of this. And then, like, I mean, he ignores, like, I think I was documenting the period where basically for 2 months we did not have a single call, and he did not respond to any of my freaking messages on Slack. So yeah, that's interesting, right? Like, I really don't know. But anyway, yeah, that, like, I think, I mean, maybe I'm like, because I'm ranting and things like this, like things were not that bad. Like, I'm basically just getting it out of my system. Like, I don't think he's that bad, and I don't think. I mean, I might be exaggerating a little bit, but still, I always go back to this quote that I don't remember. I think it was Maya Angelou, that people will forget what you say, people will forget what you do, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And that's the one thing that I stay stuck on with this manager, is that, um, it, like, it just didn't feel like he cared enough. I think he just, like, mostly viewed us, like, or at least me, as a nuisance. Like, even though he's like very likable, like if you talk to him, you will probably have an interesting conversation, but it's not the same having a interesting conversation as having a good manager who's supporting you and who's helping you grow. And because this is my first job, I did not know, like, I guess that's what you do on your first job, is that you learn that people will not push for your growth. You have to push it for it yourself, and you have to take things into your own hands. Like if you're trying to change roles or trying to do something, it's better to look for another team than just rely on like a fake promise by a manager, right? And yeah, I mean it's okay. It's a good lesson. I mean that's the thing is that like when I think back on it, it's not that bad. I was just like really hurt by this um like assessment that I was not performing well enough, or like when I was like actually performing to the same level that I am right now. Like I was delivering all that was asked of me, mostly on time and things like this. But I guess, yeah, I think I'm not really sure how how to express this. I think it was mostly that, like, feeling that it had snuck up on me, like this assessment, without having a single warning, without having a single like, hey, let's work on this, let's redirect your focus on this, let's do this, let's help get you back on track, because I guess that's the job of a manager, you know, to help your people. Yeah, like basically that's what we call a people manager. Like that's your job, is to help like your people be perform at their best, so that you know the company can get the best outcome, and that's usually aligned with the best interest of the employees and things like this. So yeah, like that's my I guess the source of my frustration. I don't think he was bad, or like I think that's just like, you know, there's this thing in psychology that you only remember the most painful part, and also the most recent part. So because there's this recency bias, like this was out of like my, like this was the vision that I had of him in my last interaction with him before my next manager came back from paternity leave. So basically, it means that now I have bad vision of this guy, which, you know, we all have psychological biases, and obviously being aware of this, like, makes me question obviously my thoughts, and like basically a bit of resentment here. But it's okay. I'm just putting things out there because this is what was on my mind today, and it kind of bothered me so much, that so much so that like after the party, I came back home and like wanted like just what like binge watch on YouTube some stuff to like kind of do some escapism, because I didn't want to sit in those hard emotions of uh, a bit of anger and resentment towards this person. Um, but yeah, that's why I'm deciding to talk on it in this about it on this video, um, is so that I can, you know, let it out. I know that sometimes my thoughts are not like, there's this saying that like don't believe what you think, and that's true. Like our thoughts are heavily basically influenced by emotions. So in the end, it's okay. Like I'm just trying to question my own thoughts here and like process this, because at some point I was like not processing it at all, like just putting it at the back of my mind and ignoring these feelings that I have. But if they're left unprocessed, then that's not gonna do me any good further down the line. So I'd rather get those feelings out now, and then I don't have to deal with it, and I will have made peace uh, with this, and I won't have the same angry feelings towards this person. I mean, I don't have any anger, like it's just frustrating, like how sometimes you think, oh my god, this is so frustrating that this has happened to me, and I was so naive and all of that stuff. But it's okay. That's how we learn. That's how we grow. And mistakes will happen, walking down the wrong path will happen, doing lots of things the wrong way will happen, and like all of this stuff is bound to happen. Um, Over my lifetime, I'm just learning to deal with it better, and yeah, just trying to not be like that kind of like I don't want to be that kind of person who like talks people's ears off, complain about some other people. I just want to like get it out. It's done, and then I don't want to talk about it again. And I feel like sometimes when I do this complaining session, like it kind of felt like I was doing it today with my colleague, the poor guy was listening to me. It's like I don't want to be doing that anymore with people. Like I would rather just do it with myself here on this camera, because at least that means that I I want to be this negative person, but this has to come out somehow. So I'm just doing it while I'm here in my room, about to go to sleep, talking to the camera, and yeah, just realize that it's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to you know have this certainty and have these feelings of anger towards someone in life, because life will throw lots of stones at you. I'm saying this while not having experienced very much of life. Like I'm gonna turn 26, but yeah, it's like a tiny fraction of hopefully the life that I'm going to live. So it's my time to learn actually. So that's completely okay. I completely accept all of these things. I'm okay with this, and I'm going to be okay. I just don't want to like be the negative person. Although sometimes you do have some negative feelings, so you do need to let them out. And now I chose to do it here, so that next time I'm not talking about this anymore, and I can focus all my energy on good stuff, on positive stuff, on things that help me grow and things that help you guys grow. My 0 people watching. So yeah, let's focus on the things that we can control, and let's decide to feed ourselves positive things so that we can fight this negativity bias that we have in our little brains. And yeah, that's all I needed to talk about for today. Thanks a lot for tuning in and listening to my rambling as always. You can click here to watch my previous video on this channel, so the one right before this one, and you can click here to watch my latest video on the channel overall. So thanks again for tuning in. I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day, night, whichever time of day it is where you are right now. Bye for now, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye bye.